Blog Talk Radio.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. Reality, spirituality. It's a new experience. Reality, spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one, man. Reality, spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality, spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Spirituality. Yeah, you gonna feel good now. Real good. That's what I'm talking about. Time to get real.
Welcome, everyone. Welcome to Reality Spirituality. I'm actually broadcasting from downtown Los Angeles. What a beautiful day it is today, too. So I want to welcome all my guests. Thank you, audience, for listening. Thank you, audience, for your support. Share with the world Reality Spirituality, and I am your host, Rebecca Lynn Norrington. Let me first start off by saying that this show, Reality Spirituality, has really, really evolved over the years. When I started a little over 3 years ago, I have to say that I don't even recognize that person. I don't even recognize who I used to be. I know I used to be different, but every week, every month, every year, this journey is so fascinating. My journey, your journey. We are here to what? Honestly, for me, happiness is my priority, and I believe in every cell of my body that this journey, my journey, is here to grow, evolve, and actually have fun and be okay and feel good with all of it. Feel good with all circumstances. Well, how can that be? How can I feel good if I'm struggling financially? How can I feel good if I don't have a job? How can I feel good if my partner just left me, my husband just left me, my husband cheated, my wife cheated? How can I feel good when I'm not in good health? The topic of today's show is control and what we have control over. And I've learned, the hard way that in reality I don't have control over anything that happens to me. And let me take it a step further that I was really bopped over the head over this week. Not only do I not have control over what's happening to me, what I've had to really accept, and it's a pill that's hard to swallow, I must admit, gets choked in my throat, is that I am powerless. And let me explain that. Let me explain what I mean, powerless. In certain arenas, I am powerless, meaning I believe that, number one, I chose to come here. I chose my parents. I chose my circumstances. I actually signed off. I signed off to experience this journey, to experience this life in this lifetime. With that signing off, I also chose the circumstances that I am finding myself, did find myself, will find myself in. And all of these circumstances, I really thought years ago, let me tell you something, a year ago, that I really had the power and I really could control my destiny, my fate, my future, what I attain, what I do. And there's been so much evidence to the contrary that I had to really, especially just recently, just give up. Now, I'm not saying, and this is just my opinion because I don't pretend to speak for you, my dear audience. I don't pretend to say I have the answers. I'm just telling you my experience, and if you relate to it, or you feel it, great. And if not, that's okay too. My job is not to convince you. My job is really to share what I've experienced. And for those who have listened to the show, back in 2007, was it 2000? Yes, 2007. It was either 2006 or 7. I think it was 7. My mother disinherited me. And for 5 years, I didn't see her. For 5 years, not that I didn't see her, I actually saw her at my father's service, but for 5 years, she didn't speak to me. For 5 years, I wasn't welcomed in her home. And for 5 years, I tried to talk to her and apologize and basically ask for her forgiveness. I'm just going to tell the story real short. I was trying to control her. I was trying to control her finances. I was trying to control her behavior. I was trying to, and with good intentions. Good intentions. Well, she, of course, listen, she's just like all of us. We want to be controlled? No. And really took offense to me trying to help. So I was disinherited. I'm saying all that to say that after 5, 6, 7 years, we, started talking. A couple years ago, just 2 years ago, I started visiting back and forth. I see her. I talk to her all the time on the phone. And do you know that I used to think that I had control over, what with my words or with my behaviors, I could influence someone else to behave in a certain way, or I could influence someone else's decision making. And I'm telling you, left hand up in the air, I cannot influence anyone. I don't have any control or any power over anything that happens to me. I used to think that I was powerful, meaning that my energy, or I could persuade, or I could make something happen. And what I know and what I believe in every bone and every cell of my body is that my destiny is planned out. What I have power over and what I have control over is how I am going to receive everything that's happening. This is a divine plan, and I'm going to throw one of our most famous people in history into this mix. Jesus Christ, Jesus as a man. Let me tell you something. That was not his plan to grow up and frickin' get crucified on a cross. But he surrendered to his destiny. He surrendered to his faith. He surrendered to a greater plan. And I'm telling you, we are all the same. We are going through this journey, and to think that I have control, I just don't. I'm still fighting. I've talked about surrendering a lot, but still fighting. But the last week, things have happened with my mother that I realize whatever I do, whatever I say, I'm not going to influence her decision or her behavior. Not only her, everybody else in my life. I could think that I'm influencing. I could pretend that, oh yes, I have some kind of I can persuade. I can pretend to think that I'm. But audience, the only thing that I have control over is, and I have a few people in the queue. I'm going to get you in 2 minutes. I promise. The only thing I have control over is my perspective about everything that I experience. How do I perceive what is going on in my life? Do I think it's a gift, or do I think it's the opposite of a gift? How I vibrate, my personal vibration, and what does that mean? That means that you can feel the difference between being anxious, feeling worried, feeling uptight, annoyed, angry, hurt. And you can also feel the difference when you feel that, you know what, I trust, I know that this is a friendly universe. Everything that is happening, regardless of what my eyes may say, regardless of what these eyes may see, regardless of what's going on, I realize that this is a perfect plan. This show is about happiness. I've talked about it forever, how to maintain and sustain happiness. And I'm here to say, for me, there is no maintaining, there is no being happy when I'm pushing against what my circumstances, when I'm resisting reality, when I'm really pushing against, fighting against the universe, when I'm struggling, when I think that there's something wrong. I just want to share that with you because it's huge for me. It's actually allowed me to do a lot less. Now, when I say do a lot less, I'm not talking about just sitting back and doing nothing. Yes, I am going to still listen to that inner voice and do and be inspired by that voice with whatever I feel inspired to do. But I'm not going to make any bold statements. That's one of my things. No more making bold statements. I'm going to be open to everything that comes across my path. Open, pleased, and okay, without resistance. Easy? No. But the more you practice, the easier it becomes. I'm going to go to my first caller. I have a few callers in the queue. My first caller, area code 337. Hello, what's your name? You are live on Reality Spirituality. Hi.
Oh, I'm loving what you're saying. My name is Candace. How are you?
Hi, Candace. Great. Thank you so much. You like what I'm saying? Go ahead. Tell me more.
I've been through a divorce, so not being comfortable with a circumstance and understanding it at the time. That's a hard thing to do, even though everything happens for a reason. Mm-hmm. And you have to basically grow spiritually to realize that. That sometimes that's not the easiest thing to do is to say, this happened, but I'm okay with it. Sometimes it's harder. It's harder for some people to do. And I'll admit I was one of them, and I'm still at times questioning, not saying questioning the universe, but questioning why I'm going through this or why I'm going through that or whatever. Even pertaining because now I'm a person. I don't like to date. I'm gonna be honest. I'm not a person that just loves dating, and because
that loves what? What did you say? That you're not a person that what? I didn't hear that.
Like dating relationships.
Oh, dating. Okay, dating. Okay.
I'm not a person that's like, I'm not a social dater. I'm not one of these type of people that just loves to just go out and do this. I love going out and enjoying, I actually like being single better than dating. Being honest, because I've been through a lot of stuff. And
let me say something, my dear Candace, because you know what? One of the things I love about my listeners, especially people that call in, and just your honesty. I'm just getting chills because I love your honesty and I love your openness, and you're just being real with my audience. And you hit a lot of really good points, and that's why I kind of interrupted you because I just wanted to go back to a few things that you said. This you said something about not being easy, being in circumstances and not thinking that, you said everything happens for a reason, everything happens for a good reason, and it's not, sometimes you don't see that. Honey, join the club. You know, but this is the thing. See, I was not taught as a child this concept. I wasn't taught this concept. I was taught, other things, achieve, accomplish, find your way in the world like everybody else. But really our path, your journey is so unique to you. And what I found hard is comparing myself to others, and not only comparing, but wanting what, quote unquote, was normal, or what society said, or what everybody else did, and thinking that I'm an oddball. And I have to tell you, I am in a club. I am actually forming an oddball club. Would you like to be in?
Yes, I would love to be in. I think I'm already in it.
Okay.
I think I'm already in it.
Okay, so far it's me and you in this oddball club.
Yeah, basically. Because I'm the same way. It's like, I guess, like when it came to, I'm was raised to be successful, everything like that, but also a moral. I come from a very, very moral family that also believed in the, being a good person, good things happen to you, and being, my mom and dad been married for almost 50 years, and I looked at that as like, that's what I wanted. I mean, of course, I think that's what everybody, when you think about it, everybody wants that kind of relationship. You see people that's been together for years, and you wonder, like, wow, how does it feel to be that?
Well, let me say something. Let me just debunk that whole thing. Yeah, my mother and father were married for over 50 years also, but I'm telling you, I wouldn't want their marriage. I mean, I was always bickering, was always arguing, was always some kind of problem. No, thank you. So the years really don't. The years don't really matter. How many years you've been with somebody. What really matters for me in a relationship is this person going to love me unconditionally, meaning with no strings attached, with no conditions? Oh, I'll love you if you call me every day, or I'll love you if you don't cheat on me, or I'll love you if you, do A, B, and C, and D. I am not into anybody, and so that kind of love. And listen, I was one of those people. I mean, I had my rules. If you followed A, B, C, D, but if you stepped out of it, then it was gonna be a problem.
I'm the same way. I'm the same way, because I was like, and that was the thing. That was the difference between a lot of people. That my mom and dad, they were very happily married. They had that connection that everybody wanted. So I saw that as an example of what I wanted. I never saw them fight or argue. Even if they did it. They didn't do it around us. And I admire that, the fact that, of course, we all want something like that. And I looked at that, and that's what I admired. And, when mine didn't, because of my ex-husband, his cheating ways, it hurt. It hurt. It felt like I failed at something, because I've always was raised to be an achiever, not only an achiever, but, always had that you can do anything you want, you put your mind to it, but what if that's not in your destiny? I had to look at that as well.
That's right.
And so,
let me say one more thing, because you said something really important. You said one of the things that I've had to learn, and listen, it's about like talking about other people and what I know that they want. You said something interesting about everybody would want that. I have to say that that's not true. You might want that relationship like that, but everybody is so different. I know some people that just want to be free and just want to experience this life and go from relationship to relationship to relationship.
That's true. Yeah.
That's true. So I'm just very mindful about, I know what everybody wants. I definitely know me, but I don't know what anybody else is doing in this world. But I used to think, listen, Candace, I used to think I knew what everybody was thinking, what everybody was feeling. I know why. No, I don't know. I just wanted to throw that out.
Yeah, that's true, because you really don't. And when you look at it, you're like, okay, yeah, then I have to have the dose of basically learning to date again. And when I learn that, yeah, that's when I realized everybody don't want the same thing I want.
Mm-hmm. So let me ask you, my dear Candace. Let me ask you, because I first of all, I love that you're sharing, but I want to also, like, let's get down to some what are you struggling with, or what are you needing right now? What are you what is it that you want?
Well,
when I say what is it that you want, I mean, what do you want in your core, not what everybody else wants or what everybody else sees, but what really do you want? Because really knowing yourself and studying yourself is number one. So what does my dear Candace want?
I really, that's the thing. I would like to get remarried again and have more kids, and
Okay, so then after that you said that, and my question is why?
I feel that I feel that it's a part of my journey.
What did you say? It's what?
I feel that it is a part of my life journey.
Oh.
That's what I feel, because it's something that I really would like. I don't know. It's something that I'll have that friend, that partner that loves you unconditionally, and that you can laugh with and smile and cry and basically somebody that really will listen to you when times you don't feel that you're being heard.
You want someone to share your life experiences with. You want to share it with somebody.
Yeah, I would.
And the only reason why I asked you why is because one of the things that I really had to get was, what do I really, really, really want, and why? And I remember when I was younger, I wanted to get married. Why? Because I thought that's what everybody, I thought that was, in other words, what I grew up, okay, let me just put it this way. If I was raised in a totally different culture with people and they never got married and they just were single the rest of their lives, and or they just met a lot of people, or else they just stayed single. If I was raised in that kind of environment, then I don't know if I would want to get married. So that's the only reason why I ask you, what do you want and why? Because a lot of times for me, I had to really dig deep and say, well, is this really what I want, or is this really what I think I want? You follow me?
Mhm.
And the other thing I want to add, which is really, I'm just going to share about me. When I was first divorced, I've been in a relationship. I don't know how many years. It was almost 10 years. And before that, of course, dating, boyfriend for 4 years, boyfriend for 2 years, always in a relationship. And then when I was divorced, I really wanted a relationship also. I put it was the beginning of not online dating, but like, you would go to these relationship sites and Match and all that kind of stuff, and I did that for a year, maybe longer, and then started dating. I've dated a lot. I've dated a lot. But for me, it was only because I wasn't, and I'm just being honest, I wasn't comfortable being alone. I wasn't comfortable. I didn't like it. I wanted in fact, the latest 2006, I had this boyfriend for 6 months before he dumped me. And I wasn't comfortable being by myself. Now, do I want a relationship? Do I want somebody in my life that's going to, yes, it would be nice. Yes, it's okay. But do I need it? Can I? So it's just a different kind of vibe. In other words, it's coming from, okay, universe, if you think that's going to be, because one of the reasons you talked about this earlier, and you said something about why is this happening, why? Well, the answer to why is always the same thing, and that is it's for my betterment. It's for your betterment. It's for your greater good. So whatever is happening is for my betterment. Do I have somebody in my life now, relationship? No. But would I be okay always being alone, single? Yes. Would I have somebody, if somebody comes into my life? Yes. But I'm okay either way.
Mhm.
What do you think?
That's exactly how I feel, the same way. Because I've been by myself for a while, and I enjoyed it. I mean, it feels good when you're not worried about where somebody else is at or drunk. It's good being free from.
Ooh, okay. Now you said something really good. Now, okay, you said, what did you say? You said not worrying where somebody else is. Is that what you said?
Yes, not worried about somebody else in a way. It's good when you just worry about yourself. I love that. I loved it. I love it. It's a good feeling. Don't get me wrong. I do love it. I love when I hear all my girlfriends talk about the drama they're having with the relationships, and you think, none of that drama, and it feels good. And, of course, none of them ever had that experience of learning to love themselves. And I had to, I'm a person I've always loved me, and I was okay being by myself regardless,
Okay. I have a question for you. This is a really, really, really tough question. You ready? Put your seatbelt on. Yeah. You got it snapped on?
Yes, it's snapped on.
This is it. If you are in a relationship, or when you are ever in a relationship, because you said something really profound, having to be concerned with or, talk or worried about, not worried about, but just being concerned with someone else. See, if I'm ever in a relationship again, I am never going to be concerned about, I'm still going to be, in other words, my happiness depends on me and me only.
Yeah.
It's still going to be set up where they're going to be free to do whatever they want to do, I'm out of the mix. If they want to, I'm not going to, there's no conditions. I'm not going to be in a relationship with any, and I'm not going to apply any conditions. I'm not going to, because I don't want any conditions applied on me. Plus,
exactly.
If there are any conditions, you can better believe that it's not going to happen tomorrow. It's not going to happen in 6 months, a year, but it's eventually going to blow up. It's eventually going to be a problem, because having conditions just means you want to control the other person, and that even includes whether they want to be monogamous or not. Sorry, exactly. But it's true.
I look at that too. Yeah, exactly, and that's the way I look at it too. Because that's the way I feel. Because at that moment of time when I was going through my divorce, I was like, you know what? When I was quote dating, I was like, you're gonna do whatever you want, regardless of if I want you to do it or not. So why? I'm not your mom. You don't have no contract with me stating that if you do this, this, or that, And that's the way I felt, because I didn't want that condition on me, because if I had with somebody, I liked it, and if I moved on in my life, they can't get upset with me. And that's the way I looked at it. And I think more than anything, that intrigued them more than anything, because they're like, wait a minute. And then they made that a plan to, quote, wanted to lock me down, because now I didn't have anything to hold on them. Mm-hmm. I wasn't worried about them. I didn't think about them that kind of way. I didn't call them. And then it was like, wait a minute, you're good. I'm like, now people want to lock me down. The fact that I don't even want holding them conditions over them. Now they want to be this great shining armor to prove to me that they can be that kind of guy. And I'm like, wait a minute. And I noticed that the more that I didn't even want with anything to hold on to them or conditional, the more they were chasing me down. And I had to get to a point that I didn't even want to talk to anybody, because I said, I'm tired of somebody trying to lock me down.
Well, let me say something about relationships and what I found, and this is so true, especially in this society, and especially in this society, United States, and because that's all I know, quite frankly, but it feels strange for someone to give you your freedom. It's very unique for someone to give you freedom and say, you have the freedom to be you. You have the freedom to do whatever you want. You have that freedom. And quite frankly, I've found that like you just said, guys are not comfortable with freedom. In other words, I love you regardless of what you do. I love you regardless of what you don't do. And I think that's one of the reasons why I don't have anyone. I mean, I do have a very special male friend who actually is not a friend. He's like we're growing together in this world. We were put together on this world, but it's not a relationship. It's not a romantic relationship, but it's all about freedom and people. Not people. I can't say people. I love giving people their freedom. You can just be free. So give me a circumstance right now, my dear Candace. What are you going through now? In other words, do you have any kind of issue or problem that you want me to help you with right now?
Well, I will.
You have a question, or what?
Yes, that's what I wanted to know. If you maybe saw somebody coming into my life that I can actually have that kind of a connection with, of no conditions or whatever. That's a hard thing to even though, of course, I mean, it at first, because I was at a point I didn't really care. I didn't care. I said, well, you're gonna do what you want to do regardless. So who am I to tell you can't do this? You can't date this person, date that person. But in the same sense, it felt like when I first called myself doing that, I kind of felt like, wow, this person really, the fact that I gave him he can do whatever he wants. I would get, it was funny because it was an unconditional thing, but I was still kind of jealous. I felt a little jealous because I felt that in a way the guy he really started liking this other person. He was like, well, it's not you, it's just the fact that I felt that you didn't care. I said, well, I did care. What if I didn't care? It's just, I just felt that's what I didn't want to hold anything on to you. Didn't want you to ever feel that
okay, let me say something. And this world is so backwards, in my opinion, is so backwards. If you don't if you don't put any strings, if you say you can go out and do whatever you want, and you don't give me any kind of conditions, and you in other words, you just let me be free, that means you don't care about me. Do you see how backwards that is? If you don't get jealous, or if you are not concerned about whether who I'm dating, or if I'm not dating anybody else, that means you don't care about me.
Mm-hmm.
In other words, freedom, giving somebody their freedom, it's really an interesting vibe, because we're not taught that doesn't that we're taught that means that doesn't care. I give you an example with my son. It's totally different because he's my son, but I have given him his freedom to the point where if he calls me, great. If he doesn't call me, and I'm in California and he's in New York, and so there's no conditions that, and when he travels, you have to call me when you arrive, or else I'm going to be worried about you. No. In other words, I'm telling you, it's the craziest thing, because my friends, you must miss him, or you talked to him. No, I haven't talked to him in weeks. You haven't? No. It's a totally different way of setting up a relationship. Hello? Hello?
Yeah, I'm here. I'm sorry about that. I'm here.
Oh, what was that?
That was my mom. She was just, I'm living with my mom.
Hi, Mom.
She's actually about she's
Hi, Mom.
Another room.
Hi, Mommy. Yeah. So it really is about it's you know what, it's not in the beginning, because I was raised with family. You got to call, you got to check in, you got to there's things you're obligated to do, and then somebody, but my son knows that whatever that I'm here, that he needs me, but I'm not putting any obligations or anything. I just wanted to share that. This is different. So you're asking me the question whether or not I see or feel anybody that comes into your life. Well, I'm gonna just repeat what I said at the beginning of the show, that your life is always unfolding exactly the way that it's supposed to. It's unfolding in exactly the perfect amount of time that it's supposed to also. And in other words, it's like let go and trust that everything is happening for a great reason. You have somebody or don't have anybody now, then you're not supposed to have anybody right now. And the other thing I want to say to you is, I want you to start falling in love with more, and start falling more in love with, and start accepting and embracing this wonderful entity, with the name of Candace right now, and start looking in the mirror and finding your true love there, number one. And be okay with however it looks right now, whether you're in a relationship or you're not. And when I say be okay, I mean really feel it in your bones that, focus on what's great about this right now, as opposed to focusing on what you're quote-unquote missing. When I'm thinking about the future or thinking about possibilities of the future, I'm really not in the present moment. And if I'm not in the present moment, I'm not appreciating and or accepting the present moment. I'm actually fragmenting myself and not being whole in this moment. So it's like if you're cooking let me see, something that like a stew in the crock pot, and a crock pot takes 8 hours to cook some fabulous dish. Well, after an hour, it's still going to be this fabulous dish. After 2 hours, after 3 hours, it's still going to be this fabulous dish. So be okay with whatever stage you're in your life right now. And when I say be okay, I mean really enjoy it and just start smiling about it. from the inside.
Oh, I do. Believe it or not, I really do. I love me. I love me from the top of the head to the feet. Don't get it twisted because.
All right.
Yeah, because I mean that's the first thing. A lot of people, you don't love yourself enough. Well, what if you do love yourself and you just want some sex sometimes? And
that's right. Mhm.
And that's how I am. I mean, I don't, because so many STDs out. I don't want to be just sleeping with everybody. That's never who I am as a person. So, of course, that's okay. I would like that, I guess, not even say sexual partner, just somebody I can share my journey with,
Well, you will experience everything that you're supposed to. Hey, I like them apples.
Okay.
You know what? You're so special. You're yeah, I really like you. I really like you. Thank you for calling. I appreciate your call. Okay, thank you, Candace. What a great call, don't you think? I mean, I have a lot of callers and people that write me with the same, just like Candace is saying. She just wants to share. She just wants someone else to share the journey, and I appreciate that and I respect that. And she will experience everything that is her destiny. That is the truth. That is the truth. You have been listening to Reality Spirituality. I have had a few people else in the queue, but no one wants to be as brave as Candace has to speak with me live, and that's okay. I understand that. But Reality Spirituality is heard every Saturday and Sunday at 7 a.m. Pacific Standard Time. Tomorrow I will be here again. Ask Rebecca anything that means anything on this planet. You can follow me on Twitter at RL Norrington, and also go to Facebook and like Reality Spirituality's Facebook page. And until tomorrow, and my latest book, Reality Spirituality, The Truth About Happiness. The Truth About Happiness. Happiness, honestly, when you are living in the present moment, that is going to be where you are the most whole and the most content. Anytime you're in the past and or the future, you actually start subtracting from your happiness, unless you are remembering something in the past where it's just so overwhelming and wonderful and joyful and all that kind of stuff, and you're feeling that same vibration that you were when you experienced it. So I said a lot to say that. Reality Spirituality, The Truth About Happiness, you can find that on my website, RebeccaNorrington.com, and or on Amazon. So until tomorrow, everyone, thank you so much for listening. You've been listening to Reality Spirituality, and I will chat with you tomorrow. Reality Spirituality, Rebecca Lynn Norrington.
Oh, it's time to get real. Oh, yeah. It's a new experience. Reality Spirituality. Yeah, keep your ears open for this one now. Reality Spirituality. You got a question for RLN? Reality Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get some answers, baby. Spirituality. Oh, now we get real. Spirituality. Yeah, it's time to get down. Spirituality. Yeah, you gonna feel good now.